All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mikestand. Here with Tim Olson tonight. Who is my guest co-host. Tim, you can unmute now.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
I
And
had
of
to
course,
I had to mute the channel. 'Cause I had to mute something so it wouldn't
oh,
echo.
oh yeah, I get that. I had to do that too. That's why I needed you to silent. Um, And of course, guys, if you can remember to like and share the stream to see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. And also, as we're going over the comments tonight, if you guys have anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. And if you have any questions, we'll try to answer those questions as best we can. Anyways, waiting for Tim to come back. I think he had to mute again to do
Yeah, I'm still
something.
here.
Okay, I saw that you were. Yeah, so I was just reminding everybody to like and share the stream. Hey, Woody.
Yo,
Hey, Woody. We
Woody,
got
what
Woody
up?
here now.
What's
Okay.
up, G?
All right, so tonight, folks, we're going to be looking at, of course, comics that went on sale in July of 1939. We're going to be looking at like Detective Comics number 30, The Return of Doctor Death. Be looking at Sandman. We're going to be looking at a couple selections from movie comics,
I'm
as well
looking
as a
forward to
couple
the
of selections
Batman
from
one.
as well as a couple of selection. Well, we're going to be going over issue 5. The series only ran for 6 issues, so go figure.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
probably with the same thing you were talking about last week. But anyways, so before we actually get into the reading of the comics, Tim was kind of letting me know an interesting little thing. I kind of heard a little bit about this, but I wasn't like sure a whole lot. So, Tim, if you want to take it away, actually, I'm going to go off camera for a quick moment because I
All
do
right.
have to go check something. But if you want to tell them about what you were telling me earlier about like Bill Finger and Bob Kane.
Yes. As we know that Bob Kane had to create Batman for DC, but he didn't have any good ideas. So I guess the deal is that Bill Finger would ghostwrite Batman, and Bob Kane would draw Batman, but Bill Finger would go uncredited, and I guess stupidly Bill Finger agreed to this. So the Batman, we all know the way it came to be pretty much is because of Bill Finger, but Bill Finger got pretty much screwed for like decades. In recent years, I guess he's gotten added as co creator of Batman, but DC has some kind of like agreement that lasted decades that Bob Kane was going to be credited as the creator of Batman. Although Bill Finger did actually write an episode of the '60s Batman TV show, but he pretty much got a raw deal. But he agreed to being uncredited as the co-creator of Batman. This pretty much sums it up. I'm pretty sure there's more nuances to it, but yeah. So
Yeah,
whatever you do, if somebody says, "Hey, you write all the ideas and be a ghostwriter," you say no, no.
yeah. Well, yeah, I did hear that. The only thing I had heard about it because I know that Crows of Judgment had actually he brought. As I said, I don't know if it was his daughter. I think it was actually his granddaughter, Eileen Finger.
Yes, I
Um,
think it's like his granddaughter or daughter or something that pushed
um,
hard to get that his right the credit that was
yeah,
rightfully
I know
his.
that she was on Crows of Judgment, which is another YouTuber. Amazing about Bill Finger. Yep.
Yeah, it
Um,
was, wasn't it?
yeah.
And somehow he got edged out for years. But you know what? I still say he stupidly agreed to the whole thing about being uncredited, pretty much being a ghostwriter. That's something he agreed to, and he should have never agreed to it. He said, "Nope, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna you're gonna credit me as the co-creator of Batman.
Well, yeah. For I think they had a few other situations too earlier on. There were times when I think Gardner Fox was said to have written some story, not in Batman, but some of the other DC titles, and they had kind of a similar situation. But whatever.
A lot of creators, such as I think the creator of Superman was pretty much screwed out of his character because of World War II.
Well, no, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, they were it was both of them, and and the light and there was a years long, and I know Alan Moore. I think it was Alan Moore, or yeah, Alan Moore. I think was one of the ones. No, Alan Moore. I know he no, not Alan Moore. Neil Adams. Neil Adams. I
Neil
knew there was an
Adams.
A in there somewhere. Neil Adams was one of the ones who was pushing hard for Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster to get their get their royalties for
What I
Superman.
heard was a lot of creators went to war, and when they came back, a lot of their characters had been repurposed for something else.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that might have been the case, but
Yeah.
we'll probably see something like that as we when we get to that point, when we get into the 40s and stuff.
Yes.
We're not even at World War. We're not even at 1940 yet. We're still in the middle of 1939. Now, granted, over the next couple months here, we're going to really and Tim, if you can comment once in a while.
All right. Cool. I can do that.
Just because I think that's just how, fortunately, how YouTube seems to play this at times. It's like,
Done and done.
all right, I'm gonna go off camera for a quick moment to try see if I can try to do something to augment this a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I see Timothy Olson's in the chat. How you doing, Timothy?
Why don't you have a talk with Timothy and anybody else who may be in here for a moment, Tim?
Oh well, thank you, Timothy. That's awfully nice of you to call me that. So how is everyone? Does anyone want to talk about? Oh, I don't know, other comic book historical things? Let's see. Ah, thanks, Timothy. Okay, here's an interesting comic book fact. Stan Lee planned on quitting the comic book industry until his wife Joan told him to write the type of characters he wanted to for at least for his last project. The result was the Fantastic Four, which created a more humanely flawed type of superhero. Or, here's an interesting fact. When Patrick Stewart first saw an X-Men comic book, he asked, "What am I doing on the front of a comic book?" Pretty funny. Uh, uh, Fact number three, John Constantine is one of the only comic book characters to age in real time with his publication. Okay, here's another fact. 7 years before the Philosopher's Stone, Neil Gaiman published a comic book about an English boy who finds out he's a wizard on his 12th birthday and receives an owl from a magical stranger. I've heard about that one. Okay, fact number five. Marvel published generic comic books in order to trademark the names superhero and supervillain. Pretty freaking clever. Okay. Fact number six. Comic book characters come back to life after death, so they often are aware of the likely resurrections. Professor X said, in mutant heaven, there are no pearly gates, but instead revolving doors. After one of the X Men died, his daughter refused to mourn him because he'd be alive again, which is odd. Let's see what we got. Deadpool has medium awareness, which means he's aware that he is a fictional character in a comic book. Well, we already kind of knew that. And it is thought to be due to his mental state. Stanley Lieber used pseudonym Stanley because he was afraid that associated his legal name with comic books would be harm his writing career.
All right, I'm back. Took me a little longer than I thought, just because my sister had actually tried to call me, so I had to call her back to see she was just
Oh,
checking on her dog.
I just filled in dead air with reading comic book facts. I think there's. Did you know that Stan Lee was going to quit the comic book industry until he
I
wrote
did
Fantastic
kind
Four?
of hear that as I was in the room when you were saying that.
Yeah,
So I kind of overheard you say that, and then you said something about, I guess Joan had convinced him not to. His wife Joan had convinced him
yeah.
not
I
to.
think his wife is named Joan, and
Well, I
actually,
know his wife's name's Joan because she actually lent her voice to a character on Spider-Man the animated series from the '94 series.
really
She was Madam Web.
interesting.
Yeah,
Also, I guess Stan Lee is not his real name. He came up as Stan Lee, so it wouldn't hurt his writing career.
his writing room.
His writing career. He wanted to be a writer.
Huh. Well, what I do know is a lot of comic book artists at that time, particularly like 35, 36, 37. Um, a lot of them had actually had taken pseudonyms because they weren't sure. They weren't sure at the time, of course, if that medium would be successful. You know, like for example, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, I think, had a couple of pseudonyms. So, anyways, I think now it's a good time to get into the actual comics. I know Tim had talked about the
Yep.
thing with Bill Finger and Bob Kane, but now let's go back and look at what was being presented at that time and see how the stories were. So the first one we're going to look at, of course, is from Detective Comics, Volume 1, Issue 30. We're going to look at the Batman story from that book. So, and as always, Tim, if anything, this goes for Tim or even anybody in the chat. If anything catches your attention that you want to comment on or ask about, feel free to do so, and then we'll see what we can do with it. So, anyways, let's look at this now. So, just all pages, okay? So yeah, there we go. Number 30, August 19th. Of course, that's the cover date. Now, what? It's kind of funny because the way RJ RJ Carter of Critical Blast explained it to me, the cover date is kind of like the sell by date, I guess. Um, that's how they usually use the cover date. It's like sell by this month or whatever, I guess. Um, Now, granted, from what for the way at least one of the sites I use here does it, they usually will use the unless otherwise noted in the story, the day that it was published is usually considered the canonical like day it happened in that universe. So this book came out in July of 1939. That's basically
Oh,
when
fun thing! I want you to kind of share a screen. I shared something in your DMs on Facebook. It's the original design of Batman, so you can. It'd be kind of interesting for people to see what was originally what Bob Kane thought of and why and what Bill how Bill Finger actually
well
improved.
we'll probably see it in this story, but
Oh no,
you know,
you won't. You'll see what Bill Finger came up with, but yeah, Bob Kane's idea was completely
oh,
different.
if you want me to share it, if you can put it in the private chat,
I'll
and
try.
then
I'll see if I can do that. No, it does. It's because it's an actual picture.
oh you can't just link it.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what I can do.
Wait, hold on. Let me. I think I can. Wait, I think I can share screen.
Yeah, I see that you have. I'll remove that, and then we'll. Oh, so, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that wasn't in the book
Yeah,
there.
that's Bob. That was Bob Kane's idea.
Oh, that was Bob Kane's idea for it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Bob Kane had in mind, and Bill Finger said, no. He's a Batman, so you need to he needs to be Bob Kane came up with all the ideas of how Batman should look. No, Bill Finger did. Bill Finger came up with all the ideas of how Batman should look. Bob Kane just drew them.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. The color scheme, but they apparently they would use that color scheme later for Robin, red and yellow kind of
Yeah,
color.
I believe so.
They use that for Robin. So Bob Kane, it wasn't like he didn't have any say at all. I mean,
No, it's
to
just
a
that
certain.
Bill's ideas were better.
Well, I think Bill's idea, in terms of making, having Batman don, black, dark blue, and gray was probably a much better idea and more in coming with the character than what Bob Kane came up with. Anyway, 64
So,
pages of thrill-packed action there.
without further ado, what the fruits of Bill's labor?
Yeah, there's something interesting there. And even though it's kind of cut off there, another thrilling episode of the Batman. And they were still calling him the Batman, but at least now they have Batman as one word there. You see that?
Yep.
Initially, in his first few stories, they were doing it like Bat hyphen Man.
Yeah. Continue reading. I think they brought my dinner. I'll be right back.
All right. Greatest scoop in comics magazine history. Be sure to read the first installment of The American Way, Frederick March, which begins in this month's issue of All American Comics. Yeah, from what I understand, The American Way didn't last too long, but lasted only a handful of issues. But it was an interesting piece. Let's see. The only comic monthly with all your favorites: Mutt Jeff, Ben Webster, Tippy, Regular Fellers, Skippy, Toonsville, Folks, and Squibbly, and a host of new friends you'll like, including H.C. Claudie. Let's see, Mystery Men of Mars, Hop Harrigan. So yeah, so. And here's another ad page for movie comics right here. One of the other books we'll be looking at. Now until so here we go. Here's The Batman by Bob Kane. Um, I'll be reading this. Let me just see. Already at, well, I think I can go ahead. Doesn't look too bad. I wanted to get Tim's reaction to the design here, so I'm just waiting for him to come back. Tim, you here? Okay. Anyways, yeah, I was just waiting for Tim to come back here so that alrighty. Well, I wanted to see if Tim could Tim wanted to comment on the headpiece here. So, anyways, I guess we'll just get into the reading then here. Let's see, the Batman. All right. Okay. Oh, and all right. I guess I do need to. Maybe I should put up a little more because it would seem, anyways, that some of this is that. Oh, that's better. All right. All right. So, in the strange lives of those denizens of hidden world, um, hidden world of crime, the Batman, um, winged winged deluge of vengeance, um, has become a menace. The Batman by Bob Kane, by the way. Less than a week ago, the Batman saw his sworn enemy, the grim Doctor Death, burned to ashes in a fire that wrecked an entire house. And yet in the morning paper, an item appears. What's this? What's this? Hmm. And then it reads here, strange death, over overcomes men victim of queer disease, turns purple, doctors turns purple, queer disease turns purple, doctors baffled. Now, queer back then, of course, meant something different than it means today, folks. We've talked about that several times on here. Um, all right, as we continue on here. Only Doctor Death could be at the bottom of this. Yet he is dead. I wonder. It's strange. This hunch of mine that he is still alive, almost a certainty. 1 hour later, Bruce Wayne pays a visit to the dead man's home. I'm a reporter. I'd like to speak to Mrs. Jones. Just a just a moment, Monsieur. Yes, my husband received a threatening note that unless he paid $500,000 to a Dr. Death, he would die. Hmm. I was right. He is still alive. Hmm. We have no more money. John lost it in the Depression, but we have some diamonds. It was John's hobby to collect them. I haven't seen them for years. I must get them cut for I must get them cut for I need the money for I need some money. Hmm. I'd advise you to have those diamonds removed to a safe place, Mrs. Jones. Nearly 6. I think I'll eat, then return to Mrs. Jones' living room. I'm afraid Dr. Death knows of those diamonds. At the Wayne mansion that evening. So yeah, so there's something interesting there for you folks. Bruce Wayne keeps his costume in a trunk in his room, I guess. That's kind of, and of course, this is back in 1939. The whole idea of a bat cave probably wasn't even noted here. Anyways, I see we had some more people in here. Hello. I hope everybody's having a nice evening here as we're going through the comic here. Batman prepares to meet Doctor Death again. Um, these gas vials may be needed tonight. Toward the Jones home drives the Batman in a special built high powered auto. Now you notice there it wasn't black like it is in later years. It was a red car. So 1 block away for safety. The car handy if needed, and approach from the rear wall be best. As we see Batman climb and get ready to climb the wall, and then he jumps over the wall there. So the Batman easily clears the high wall. Hmm. These windows are barred. I'll try the upper ones. Seeing that was easy. Now for those diamonds. There should be a wall safe behind one of these pictures. I'll try that one. Well, here it is. Now let's see 13, 24, 5. Meanwhile, Dr. Death still lives. That Batman, he brought me to this. Only by a secret door did I escape from that fire. And I know, Mikhail, I need funds to reestablish myself. That fool Jones was nearer bankruptcy than I suspected, but his widow has a fortune in diamonds about their house. Break in tonight and get them. Bring them to herd the fence in the Bowery. All right, that's an interesting way of phrasing something there. And Tim's still not back yet. Hope everything's all right. He did say something about getting some food delivered, I guess. But while the Batman seeks to forestall Doctor Death, those diamonds are as good as in my hands now. A muffled uh, footfall reaches the Batman. He's behind the curtain. What a break! Safe's open. Hmm. One of Dr. Death's Cossacks, such as Jabba. I'll follow him to Dr. Death. While on the floor above, dear me, I can't sleep. Perhaps a glass of hot milk would help me. Oh, a light. Who? Oh, he! The Batman acts with the speed of thought. He needs these to lead me to where he's going. This seems foolish, but I've got to find Doctor Death. The only way I can his Cossack is by giving him the jewels he came after. It just fainted. A damp rag will revive her. And now my Cossack thief. There goes Batman into the night there. He'll come to in a moment. Whatever happened up there, I'm glad I clung onto the bag. The Batman trails his quarry.
I've returned.
Yeah. Well, I wanted you to see the opening piece there, and then I realized, okay, he's going to be gone a while. It would seem like, but yeah, I wanted you to see.
So that's Dr. Death.
No, that's his Cossack agent. Dr. Death in this one, well, I'll show you in a moment, but here's the thing I wanted you to see. I wanted to get your impressions as an artist on this opening piece.
No, I'm not much of an artist, but definitely the ears are more pointed in this one.
Mhm. As they were in the earlier days
Yeah.
of the comic. So I'll show you who Doctor Death is as soon as we get to him. Which the guy in the bandage right there is Doctor Death.
Oh,
Because what happened was when Batman had previously fought him, he set his house on fire, and he did kind of get caught in the fire, but he happened to escape death from the fire. But
so
he still
he got burned up in the fire.
right. He just didn't die. He was able to escape death. Anyways, now back to all right. So this is Mikhail, his Cossack agent. His previous Cossack agent was Jabba, who actually did die in the fire. So, anyways, back to the story here. Ivan Herds. Eh? So he's the fence for Death's Diamonds. The Batman watches as the Cossack Mikhail departs from the pawn shop. Once more, the chase is resumed. Queer that Dr. Death should live here, but that fire may have taken away all his money. Anyhow, I'll give it a try. Now, as I mentioned earlier, because we did see the word queer earlier, queer back in this day meant something totally
It
different.
actually means strange, something strange, odd.
Right. As I pointed out several times before when we covered these. Um, they they might expect a visitor from the front door, but not from the roof. Now for the right apartment. The Batman leaps through the skylight. Now that would have been cool. I mean, even by the '60s, they still had skylights that you could kind of go into, right?
Yeah, I just find the cape very odd the way it unfolds like that. It doesn't seem like a cape. It seems like seems very, like there's like, what was it, like a coat hanger wire or something that keeps it stiff like that on top.
That's luck. This is it. The masked figure ejects a capsule from his belt. He would he wouldn't be asleep. He wouldn't be asleep yet. So to be sure, the vial of glass shatters. Um, and there, that one choking. After allowing the gas fumes to dissipate, Batman is in the room where Mikhail is stretched out on the bed unconscious. He searches the dresser, um, ruffling ruffling papers. Hmm. Not a hint of pretty poor. Not a hint. A pretty poor night's work. Yeah, you waited too long to search, Batman. I recovered from the gas of yours, and now you die. But the Batman wheels, and look at that. Look at him going out the window. Right, Tim?
Right. Well, now his cape isn't so stiff. What is with that? Was it because it was supposed to, when he was jumping down, was that like the wind catching his cape? But now he's
Maybe.
diving, so
I
it's
mean,
like,
they've used that visual effect in many of his not just comic appearances but cartoon appearances too, where the cape will kind of like spread out, almost like he's gliding with it. That's an effect that's been used in um, many of his stories. So catches his silken rope. Bah, missed at that distance, he is like a jack in the box. That Batman, but I'll get him from the window. But as Mikhail puts his head through the window, look at that! Look what's about to
Yep,
happen.
about to kick him out the window to his demise.
Snap! Well, let's see. There
He
is
didn't kick him out.
a
He just
sickening
snapped his neck.
snap as the Cossack's neck breaks under the mighty pressure of Batman's foot. Ooh. Man, talk about a guillotine shot right there, huh?
Well, yeah, he just snapped his neck with his foot.
With a kick, basically. With an axe kick, it looks like. First Jabba, now you. And yet Dr. Death lives on. A phone call to the police will serve my purpose. Just before I visit Ivan Hurd for the Jones Diamonds. Yes, the Jones Diamonds, I tell you, at Ivan Hurd's. Never mind who this is. Now, of course, this was still early on in Batman's career. This is at a time when he and the police were not on good terms with each other. They were going after him like they'd go after any criminal. You know, they didn't care for vigilantism. And I know in a number of notes I've seen on like DC Database, they talk about how many of these earlier stories, you know, throughout DC, you know, a lot of the local and state officials were pretty corrupt at this point in time. So, a weird figure appears on top of the building next to the shop of the pawnbroker. One minute later, this will afford me an entrance and perhaps an exit in need. And there goes Batman swinging right through the window. Hey, Tim?
Yes, indeed.
What? What? You're Ivan Hurd. Eh? I want these diamonds. They belong to an old lady who needs them for more than you do. I know you, the Batman. And now maybe you'll talk. Where is the man? Where is the man who ordered these diamonds brought to you? You may know him by his name of Dr. Death. No, you. Like lightning, the Batman brings forth another silken lasso and flips the open-throated cord straight for the old man. Oh boy, could you just imagine the SJWs right here seeing Batman, seeing how Batman's abusing this poor old guy. Ageism. Batman's an ageist bully. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna.
Would you lose your place, Mike?
No, I just noticed that it's still saying one watching now, and there's more than one. I was trying to wake it up a little bit by commenting. But anyways, what's the matter with your hair? I do believe it's a wig. So apparently he lassoed the wig off, huh?
Yeah, no, it fell off. That looked like he got it around the neck.
Yeah. and a skin mask too. Whoa, Doctor Death, but your face. Ha ha. Yes, my face. It was destroyed in the fire. You did it. How I wanted to get my revenge. The Batman departs, leaving the bound form of Doctor Death as the police arrive. There he is, and the jewels. But what is that card on the table? Meet Doctor Death and his diamonds. And his diamonds, they belong to Mrs. Jones. See that he gets. See that she gets them with the compliments of the Batman. A new action-filled Batman strip in next month's Detective Comics. And we'll just kind of breeze through the rest of the Crime Never Paid. We won't read anything else here, but I'll just kind of show you some of the
So he
other.
didn't kill Dr. Death the second time?
I guess not. I was mistaken there.
I guess he didn't.
He didn't kill him the first time either. It wasn't that I was mistaken. Now there
He
is
tried to.
death in here, but it won't be in this story, obviously. Because I do know one of the stories we'll be covering. And there's Buck Marshall, Range Detective, which is more of a western. You notice the red and white palette right there? That was used a bit back then too. There's Bart Regan, A Spy by Jerry C. who featured Bart Regan.
Siegel.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Siegel and Schuster had they had like about four or five characters they were doing at this time. They were doing two here in Detective with Spy and the aforementioned Slam Bradley I told you about earlier. They also were doing, of course, Superman in Action Comics, the Federal Men strip in Adventure, and I believe it's Adventure Comics, and then Radio Squad and More Fun. So they were a pretty active deal back then. Oh, there we and Larry Steele, Private Detective. Again, a lot of these stories were like detective spy type stories. Pointed out. Just kind of breezing through some of it because I figured you might want to look at how bright a lot of this stuff is. Look at that. Well, this one's a little darker. You notice the artistry here.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really have a very wide range of styles. It was pretty much just cookie cutter styles, really. Everybody kind of drew the
Steve
same.
Saunders, Ace Investigator, and The Crossbow Mystery by Fred Gardner. Fred Gardner was another pretty well-known artist, comic book writer at the time. Of course, aside from Speed Saunders, he also had his hand in the Zatara feature in Action Comics as well, among others. So, just a nice palette of colors here. Now here
They're all pretty bright colors. A lot of yellows.
Yeah, Bruce Nelson and the T Racketeers, huh? That's interesting.
Bunch of tea sippers.
And of course, some people might find some of this art a little racist.
Probably, but probably not as racist as that character's Slant Eyes.
Yeah. I think the kind of yellow green color scheme for, I guess, these Chinese people is what I was getting at. Cosmo, the Phantom of Disguise, the red and white palette kind of. And here's Slam Bradley, and there's Shorty. There's Shorty, my Jerry Siegel and Joe Schuster. Shorty's the little guy with the big nose right there, far left. Slam Bradley was kind of more of a hard boiled type detective. He's kind of the guy went around, just beating people up. Tim?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
He's like it's kind of like a noir thing.
Right. Shorty Morgan was his partner too. I know this was one of before we started getting into the superhero stuff. I know this was one of the features a lot of people liked because of how Slam was. You know.
Yeah, so it seems like this is getting more closer to what we would know as superhero style comic books, more
Mhm.
recognizable.
And in the comic book of New York World's Fair Comics, which came out a couple months prior to this. So that's that for that one. Um, so I just wanted to go through just breeze through the rest of that just so see the art and all that.
See, it'll be interesting when you get you blaze through the 40s and get to the 50s and start tackling horror and suspense comics,
Yeah, I'll shrink this down for a
such
moment.
as Tales from the Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a decade away of going through the 40s.
Yeah. Well, and we still got a lot of stuff to go through. So let's see. The next one is going to be adventure comics, of course. The comic 1938. And I am going to need to step away from the computer for a moment, but I'll set this up, get this ready to go here. So while I'm gone, Tim, if you can help out by entertaining the people, maybe if you want, you can even share your oh wait, actually no, 30 wasn't 31, it was actually sorry. Right, it was 41 we were looking for. There we go. And I'll just go to the next one real quick. If you want to I'll even if you wanted to maybe I'll just temporarily cut that out for a moment. Um, if you wanted to go ahead and maybe share your what if you're doing any Kickstarters or do any promotion you want to do. Um,
Well, just simply going back Melvin #2 on Indiegogo. Let's see, Melvin 2. Days is left.
and I'll be right back.
About 20 days left on Melvin 2.
I'll be right back. So go ahead and do your
Well,
promo, my friend.
still at 7:30, so there you go. Back that book. It's the best book in the world.
All right, let me see. Oh, okay. Looks like oh, he just shared his. All right. It would seem that Tim has taken a moment away. So
No, no, I'm still here. I'm still here.
okay, I saw that your mic seemed to be muted. So I didn't know if you stepped away or not. I'm back. Just getting my laundry finished and all that. So
Oh, cool, cool.
so
You were reading. What are we
yeah.
reading now?
Oh, we're gonna be reading the Sandman story next.
Oh, nice.
The
Now,
original Sandman
what's
from Bert.
noticeably different from this versus what we all know?
You mean what's different from the Golden Age Sandman as compared to the Neil Gaiman Sandman?
Yes.
Well,
Like,
this Sandman didn't have the prophetic powers. This Sandman was more or less, if anything, he was kind of like Batman in a way, just or at least the Batman we'd come to know, where he was a little bit more reliant. Well, he'd have a gas gun, that would shoot gas, various forms of gas. He didn't have any actual superpowers. He was just in, and like a few heroes early on here, like Blue Beetle and some of his first appearances, like Crimson Avenger and like Green Hornet. This is one of those guys who would pretty much wear a business suit, a fedora, and a mask. So you'll see this in a moment, though. Number 41, Venture Comics. Here's the cover. We have and then some, of course, the ad pages early on here. The Sandman, um, by Larry. Now, Larry Dean, I think, was one of the, and well, just hopefully by making the print a little larger, it will help, with some of the. Larry Dean was, I think, one of the pseudonyms, or one of the pseudonyms that Burt Chrisman would use. What is that?
that would be my computer.
All right. Oh, okay. Actually, we need. Actually, I didn't even realize I forgot to share the screen of the book again. I was doing everything, and I almost started reading it without even realizing that I wasn't sharing it with anybody else.
Whoops.
There we
Now,
go.
this is interesting. This style seems different than most.
What was that?
This style of artwork seems different than most.
Hmm. Oh, let's check it out here. Let's check out the story here. A foggy midnight on the waterfront. From a deep shadow on an aged pier, a girl spies upon two men who stealthily board a decrepit um, clove freighter. The spy is spied upon. Unknown, the girl, a black-caped, strangely masked figure, um, patiently um, patiently observes her every move. The Sandman. So that's the Sandman right there in the lower left-hand corner of that panel right there. See how he's got a gas mask on, the fedora and a business suit.
Yeah, I see it.
The two men who have boarded the freighter enter a cabin. Hmm. I've just got to have some wine, or I'll go crazy. Here. I'll get some my at my price. I I've only got $5, Wing. What? Only $5? Why now? Why now? Why you sniveling, hophead? I'd never let you. I'd never let you aboard if I'd known. I know my price to you is $25 or no smoke. Please, please, please. Do you think I'm a narcotics? Think I'm in narcotics for for fun? I'm after money, big money, and I can get it. Look, all these men have money, lots of it. They pay five. I'm I'm through with the CLO um, penny as the CLO penny ante game. Now get out and don't show your neck in here again, lesson you got money. I'm an old customer. I know all about you. If you throw me out, I'll squeal to the cops. Yeah, I'll squeal. Oh, so you'll squeal. Well, well. You heard that, Tipper? He'll squeal. Oh boy.
Oh, he's a
I
rat.
think we have two different meanings of the word there. um,
He's a narc.
meanwhile, the girl on the dock has stolen a board. Now, in this case, stolen. We talked about this, I think, a couple weeks ago. Where in this case, they're using it to mean like sneak aboard or sneak onto or
Oh,
move
it's like
sexually.
steal away. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still breathing. Wing. Guess you didn't clip him hard enough. Hard enough. He won't be breathing much longer. No, on the river bottom, not on the river bottom. At that moment, her coat belt buckle clinked against. Okay, that I should have probably murder. This this story's more than I bargained for. I should have. At that moment, her coat belt buckle clinks against an empty oil drum, and the guys look over towards her. I take it discovered and cut off from the dock. The girl makes a desperate spring to the rail and dives over. Must have plugged her. She ain't come up. There she is, man. Out there she is, way out there, and we got to stop her. Call the boys. In a minute, um, Wings bouts are flying, or yeah, Wings boys, I guess, are flying the fog bound water. Okay. Hug the docks. Don't let her get ashore. We'll we'll um we'll moat around and find her. And look, somebody in scuba gear getting after him. A, oh, a splash to the left, girl. Swimming underwater, the Sandman comes up by the tired girl. What? Who are? Shh. The Sandman, follow me. I have a boat. I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Sandman, but believe me, I never expected to be rescued by you. You haven't been yet. Listen, a motor. Wings boat. He's coming toward us. Sit down on the bottom while I slip on this hat and coat. Wings boat looms in the fog. The motor is cut. Wing calls. Any signs of her, Tipper? No! With a curse, Wing switches on the motor and goes by. Phew, that was close. That was close. Now's our chance to get ashore. Wing, look, it's her. Quick! A a burst from your Tommy gun. Ed, step up the motor to cover it. Boss, it ain't here. It's Tipper. It ain't her. It's Tipper. Then
Hey,
who
Rick.
was in? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was just saying, hey, Rick.
Oh,
Rick's in
Rick
the
here.
chat.
Hey, Rick. Welcome aboard, my friend. Hey, y'all. Hey, Rick. Hopefully you're enjoying the content thus far. Um, then who was in that boat? The girl has an accomplice. Back after him. Here they go into that abandoned powerhouse. Rally the boys. Surround the building. Don't let them escape. Hmm. We're trapped back. We're trapped. Back noise. Um, we're trapped back inside. It is a little hard to read some of these sometimes because some of the print gets a little faded. Anyways, um, crawl in this old furnace and stay there. But you that matches. Now I'll summon help. Suddenly, as the Sandman is climbing into the building, a light flashes on him. That got him. He fell over the ledge. He's finished. Now find that girl. Find the girl. As they go wandering about. So the little girl's playing hide and seek way back in the furnace, huh? She's behind that She's behind that baffle. Can't get a shot at her. I'll crawl inside and Don't she don't. She may have a gun. No need to risk it. We'll build a fire to in this furnace. But on the roof, hmm, lucky for me that ledge was handy, or I'd be playing a harp by now. Now, what do you mean? What do you think he means by playing a harp, Tim? Tim, hope you didn't fall asleep on me. Well, he's. Hey, Rick. And thank you for the like and share, by the way, Rick. That does help things.
Right? Is that a Western belief that when you die you get wings and that you play a harp?
Well, well, basically, the idea of playing a harp means that he was going to be killed. Basically, he'd be
Yeah,
going to
that
heaven.
he'd be dead.
Going to heaven. That was, I think, the point there. Hmm. This fire should attract plenty of help. Now I'll go back inside and keep keep the boys busy till it comes. Inside, the Sandman sees. Last chance, girlie. Do we light the firewood or do you come out? Grasping a suspended chain, the Sandman swings across the vast room and drops into the midst of the thugs, firing his strange gun, in which could shots cloud of that shoots a cloud of mysterious gas. I told you, as part of his arsenal, he has gas guns. Actually, they even say in some of the notes I've seen before too. Not only does he have gas guns, he has what he calls a wire poon gun, which is basically a gun that shoots like a grappling wire. Kind of like if you remember, what Batman would shoot in Batman the Animated Series. That was in the more form of a gun as opposed to just a rectangular thing. So um, the thugs go down choking and gasping for breath. Here, I hear the crash of a breaking door. Help has come. Time for me to fade. Goodbye, lady. Swiftly, um, climbing into the shadowy walls of the old warehouse, the Sandman disappears. He's gone. Police and firemen burst into the room. What's going on here? Who are you? I'm Janice. I'm Janice Billette. I'm Janice Beale of the Daily Press, and just about everything's been going on. I've located a narcotics den, seen a murder, been shot at, almost drowned, rescued by the Sandman, and oh wait, a story I've got. The end. Look at that. Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wrapped up nicely, didn't it? A little too conveniently.
Well, that was the writing back then, though, right?
There was
All
no
right.
cliffhangers yet.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. We're already past the hour mark. So I'm gonna start going a little quicker. So instead of flashing through everything, I'm gonna just get ready to move on to basically the next story here. As soon as next book here. I guess I could. Oh, see, only 6 issues there, and this is going to be the one that we're going to look at. Of course, number 5, movie comics, a full movie show for 10 cents. August. No, well, maybe that's the appeal to reading the movies and comics. Maybe it was a lot cheaper to buy the comic book and read about a movie than than actually go to the movie. Maybe.
Probably. I mean,
Now, interesting thing when I was looking at this, so this cover is from, I guess, the Man in the Iron Mask. So the girl right there, the lady right there, that's Joan Bennett. She would go on years later in the '60s to be part of the original Dark Shadow series. Um,
ah, yes. Way before they made it an action, a comedy.
well, it was the one with like Barnabas. Now showing, of course, I guess. Oh yeah, Movie Comics is fast becoming your own magazine. We have received so many letters of praise and suggestions that we have made this issue entirely your issue. It contains only those pictures and features which hundreds of you have asked for, and we hope you'll like every one of them. Just look at these titles and the movie stars, absolutely the tops. We hope you'll read movie comics before and after you see the pictures, so you can get triple the enjoyment out of them. And
I really
continue.
doubt they get. That doesn't look like a comic that had a big readership.
Well, I was just about to say, let me finish this, and I'll give a little commentary here. Um, and continue to send in your letters. They'll help make the next issue even better. Address your letters to the editor, Movie Comics, 480 Lexington Avenue, New York City. P.S. We hope you like our new title heading, which we are using in this issue. Look for it on our next issue too, which will come out early in August. Now, and of course, on sale in August. Now, it's fast becoming popular, so much so that only one more issue was published. Right?
So that tells me that was a load of crap.
They probably thought it was a success. You know,
Well, they probably
it
thought,
only
well,
lasted one more issue after saying that. So.
they probably thought, well, hey, maybe if we sound like it's a success, people will believe it and buy more books.
The Man in the Iron Mask. But we're not, as I said, we're not going to read the actual movie stories. We're going to. There's a couple other little features in here that we're get to them. Okay, action camera. Minute movies. Okay, here we go. Let's see what Ed Whelan's Minute Movie Magazine. Interesting and instructive facts, data news, events, places, and things like that all over the globe and points west. Folks, did you know that the liquid contents of the bottles of exactly the same shape with identical labels and markings may be so absolutely different that it's just too bad? Chemist. Fooey. Uh, so this is what Minute Movies was. Kind of a little Peaches on Parade and International um, Beauty. All right, so the Inkling Kid here. So these are a bunch of separate, let's see, Minute Movies, Sun and Sand. I was going to read all this, but it looks like just a collection of Sun and Sand. I just wanted to show basically what they had in here. That's why I was even doing this. Sun and Sand, apparently. Okay.
I see.
I was initially going to read Minute Movies as part of this, but I don't think so because Miser's Gold. Clean Kid. Stars and Stamps. Oh, Movie Town. Here's one by Harry Lambert. Um, While Horace Hope, who has been mistaken for von Hunger, the great Hungarian director, directing the picture Christopher Columbus, the real von Hunger finally arrives in Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood, at last. Such talent as I have such marvelous new ideas. Ah, how they will welcome me, the great director that I am. With open arms, they will greet me. Uh, here is the studio now. And stay out! Can't you read the sign? Oh boy. Look at it. Look. They think he's a beggar. Hey, Tim.
Oh yeah, they think he's a bum.
Yeah.
So this is more like a comedy.
Yeah. Called Movie Town. For all we know, it might be a parody piece of Hollywood. If you think about it.
Well, it was probably during Hollywood's. It was probably during. It was obviously during Hollywood's early years.
Yeah. Well, it's golden age, yeah. Movie Town by Harry Lambert. You back again? Now scram before I. But I'm no tramp. Look over there. Don't you think buzz, 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 buzz? Absolutely, absolutely. No, there's no doubt about it. He has that look in his eyes. I tell you, I am the great Von Hunger. Go on, beat it. And stop bothering me before I have you put away in the blig, in the bug house. Now, what do you think back? What was the bug house back then? What do you think that?
Probably. Oh, I could look it up. Let's see.
Well, I know what I have a feeling I know what they were meaning.
Okay, bug house definition and meaning. Deranged, crazy. In other words, the loony bin.
Right, in an asylum, basically an asylum. That's what the
Yeah.
bug house was. Because basically back then, when they said a person was going crazy, they were going buggy,
Yeah.
right? Hey, wait a minute! Come right this way. I knew they would not fail to recognize the great talent when they see it. That tramp just the type we need for a part in the picture. Hobo's Parade. Hobo's Paradise. Hobo's Paradise. Interesting title. Uh, okay, bud. Take your place among the other guys over there. But I tell you, I am no actor. That's all. That's all right. You'll learn. You now listen to these directions. You stand over there, then you turn slowly towards the camera. Over there and there. Bah! That's no way to direct a picture. It should be done like these. Oh, you're telling me how to direct a picture, huh? Me? Me? You're telling? Who do you think you are anyways? The great Von Hunger? What you what you mean? Think I am the great Von Hunger. Ha 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 ha! That's a good one.
They don't believe him.
Yep. You, the great Von Hunger? Ho ho ho! Look, look here. Here comes Wally Willtell, the Movie Town columnist. Well, boys, how's Tricks? How's Tricks got anything hot? How's Trick? So how's it going? I guess is how
Yeah.
that how's Trick. Ha ha ha! I'll say, Wally, here's a gag for you. Can you imagine this bum thinks he's the great Von Hunger or Vom Hunger? Boy, that's rich. Meanwhile, at another set, Horace Hope, who has been mistaken for Von Hunger, has finally finished the great historical picture Christopher Columbus. Gosh, this is terrible. What's the matter, Mr. Von Hunger? Oh, everything's just awful. But everything seems fine. The picture's finished. It will soon be released and be a big hit. That's just it. Everything's been so swell. Gosh, everything's been so wonderful for to me, especially you, Air Judy, Air Judy, Judy. I must tell you something. Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at the back. Look at her back and the back of her neck right there.
Yeah. She got hearts.
Uh huh. Yes. Yes. Go on. I, I, Judy, I'm a fake. I'm not the great Vom Hunger. I'm not even really a director. I'm just plain Horace Hope. Wow, what a story! What will happen to Horace Hope if the story gets out? Don't miss the next issue.
No, there are cliffhangers.
Yeah, they do. Well,
Yep.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, remember when some of those pieces, some of the more like slice of life humor pieces, they did do the like. Now, granted, this is more of a original content. This wasn't a reprint, but a lot of the reprint stuff that they put in here, they would have cliffhangers because, of course, they were based off of the newspapers. So now, one more, one more to look at.
Okay.
Let's see, where are we at on time here? Let's see. Hour 34. So we're actually making good time then. Good. Considering how long I spent on the first story there, that's why I cut the movie. Yeah, that's why I just went straight to Movie Town. Didn't do the
Yeah.
rest of the
Oh,
movie.
Batman. The Batman one was cool though.
Yeah, kind of nice the way some of this stuff is, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, now we'll get to the last book we're going to feature tonight, which is All American Comic. We'll do actually a couple of stories out of there, and both of them are going to be 40 pages, including a follow up to one that was actually a cliffhanger from the last issue it was in. And I think I kind of told you about this one too. The two that we're going to do, of course, are Hop Harrigan and Squibbly. So follow the adventures of Popsicle Pete. All American Comics, November number 6, September. So we got Ted. Let's see, regular fellers, and Webster, Allen, Hop Harrigan, Skippy, Wiley of West Point, Red, White, and Blue. America's Great. So now the cover right there, that's Squibbly and Dinky Gibbet right there.
I see.
Yeah. Two little angels, how sweet they look, sleeping. They're so peacefully, fully together.
They're thinking about killing each other.
Yeah. Well, the Squibbly feature in particular, they have an interesting double feature as part of that feature, and I'll show you that when we get there. And then there's a letter to the readers. Dear kids, we hope you're enjoying your vacation and having a swell time this summer. So, of course, this being released in July, obviously, it's going on sale in July. How did you like our last issue of All American Comics? In this issue, we're continuing The American Way, featuring Frederick March, and also The Adventures of Popsicle Pete, the typical American boy. Like how they sold it, the typical American boy.
That's they're trying to convince you. This is how you should behave.
You know, today they would say that the typical American boy is racist and
Well, they'd say the typical American boy
and
was
everything, but
the
good.
typical American. They'd say the typical American boy is transphobic.
Yeah.
They'd say.
In our next issue, Red, White, and Blue are at the New York World's Fair, and all rest of us, and all the rest of us will be funnier than ever. We hope. At least there's a little humility in that, right? Then, too, we're going to publish a letter from Carl McCready, Popsicle Pete, um, to the readers of All American Comics, which we know you'll enjoy reading. Very truly yours, the All American Comic. Now, mind you, even though this was All American Comics eventually, now here's the thing at this point: all DC back in these days was actually two companies kind of working together that eventually would become one. Um, there were like two or three companies actually publishing, but they were national. They were Detective Comics Incorporated, um, National Publications, and All American Comics. So, yes, next issue will be on sale August 25th. Don't miss it. There's red wine, but look at these. Look at this color schemes here.
Very bright.
Yeah, look at that girl. Don't you kind of wish she'd pop out of the panel for you?
Not really.
uh,
She looks pretty plain.
yeah, but that still has an appeal. What are you saying? You want a purple-haired SJW?
No, hell no. we trying to we try. No, I just
I mean, the ladies here looked a lot more classier and acted a lot more fun.
yeah. I just I have a different type of woman in mind. Some
Daisy Bell. Look at how just colorful this is. This is a good scan. And Webster. Now, a lot of these are reprints from. Some of them are original, some of them are reprints. Believe It or Not by Robert Ripley's Believe It or Not here.
Oh, I remember. Please believe it or not.
Oh, you remember the TV show? I think we both grew up at a
Probably
time.
start off as a book or something.
Always belittling.
You know, my type of woman, Mike, are like I'm kind of into the Asian women.
Oh, I'm kind of that way too. I like Asian women too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Real.
Oh, what's this? Magic tricks. This is almost like an activity book.
Oh yeah, and I pointed this out too before. A lot of these earlier comics are more akin to. Okay, I'm sure you've seen the highlight magazines in doctors' offices, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, okay. So these comics back then, just with more of a comic emphasis, obviously, were more akin to what highlights were. I mean, if you remember highlights that would have a bunch of different stuff in it, they'd have not only the text stories, but they'd have like the picture stories. They have like little comics like Goofus and Gallon and the Denver Toes, you know. Um, and they'd have activities as well. Well, these books back in, let's see, Call Claudi's Adventures in the Unknown, The Mystery Men of Mars. Another feature in here. Now, this is still a few issues before, of course, Green Lantern would be introduced. American Way. Oh, there we go. I almost flew right by it. Okay, so this is the first story from this book. So, Hot Harrigan by John Elby. Now, granted, he's a 14. Now, get this. He's basically like a 14-year-old pilot here.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was able to figure out. He's like 14. He's like 14-year-old pilot. And he's already got his pilot's license and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so this is kind of the follow-up to the previous issue. Little does Hop realize that the boy Jerry, which he rescued from the forest fire, is really named Geraldine. But who is she? Some airport. Jerry, guess what? That crazy caretaker escaped from the police What's the matter? Sick? Oh, uh, nothing. I'm all right. What an odd airplane. That's a roadable autogyro. It it not only flies, but you can run it on the road, um, just like an automobile. Those rotor blades fold back. We're going up in it later. So they had vehicles that you could drive and fly there, huh?
Yep.
Look at that. That's pretty innovative for that time period, huh?
Yeah.
That will be exciting. Let's wait here. I want you to meet Prop Wash. He's the chief pilot and a swell guy. He ought to be here soon. Do do you think that maybe do you think that maybe him? That big car coming up the road? What the help? Get her in a car. We'll take care of this kid. Ow, my head. Kidnappers. Jerry's a girl? Gotta get help.
All right.
Sorry about that. Sometimes when you're doing different voices, sometimes it can trick things up. Icky! Kidnappers! They got Jerry! He's a girl! Oh gosh, Icky, call the police! He's a girl. Uh, tell the police Jerry's a girl, been snatched. I'm gonna follow that dirty gang in the gyro. Okay, Hop. Here, kid, take my rabbit's foot. Good luck. Now, Icky, I'm guessing is about 19 or 20 here, and the props in his like 30s. Just to give you an idea of some of the main characters here. There they are. Airport, notify the police. The gang's car is going east on Route 26. Oh boy, look at those police cars chasing them. But the kidnappers take a desperate chance. Oh, look at that. They're going to try to beat a train. Doggone that train. The cops will never catch him now. Gee, the gang's turned into that wooded road. They're out of sight, but in there somewhere. I've got to land. I'll fold back the rotors and scoot up that road. Look at that auto gyro. Wouldn't you like to take a trip in that there, Tim?
Let's see.
Just for the experience.
It'd be interesting, I guess.
Yeah. Boy, the guy who invented this baby sure knew his stuff. There's the car's tracks. Right up this lane, that must be the hideout. Here's where I get out and walk. Oh, no one can see the gyro behind that hedge. Gosh, it's gloomy. Rabbit's foot, do your stuff. Ah. They're making Jerry write a note. Those guys sure look tough. There's the crazy caretaker too, and a woman. The woman's taking Jerry upstairs. The men are leaving. Now's my chance. There they go in the car. I hope these stairs don't creak. Stick, stick 'em up, kiddo. Now march up here. Duck Hop! Quickly! Those men went to mail the ransom note. They're coming right back. Wow, bullets! Quick, into the gyro. Here come the men. Darn these woods. We've got to use the road. They're shooting. The last of the trees. Now to unfold the rotors. But they bound. The gyro is in the air. Airport. Hop calling. Over Highway 25. Get the police. The kidnappers are chasing us, shooting. Look, the police have them trapped. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. Look. The police have them trapped. Oh, Hop, you're wounded. Nah, only nicked me. Listen here, Jerry. There's something funny about you. Why would anybody want to hold you for ransom? Come on, spill it. My name is Geraldine, spelled with a G, not J. There is the airport. Land, please. Nice job, Hop. Say, Geraldine, your folks are here, waiting for you. Oh ho, Jerry the orphan, huh? Oh shucks, gosh, Icky, what a gal. Now, now, keep cool, Hop. Her folks are some pumpkins, big shots, and rich. They got a chauffeur and footman and 96 cylinder jalopy. Here they come. Young man, Geraldine has run away from home once too often. She's an independent, irresponsible young brat. We, as her parents, wish to reward you, but our gift has strings. What's that, sir? A well-paying job, keeping your eye on Jerry. Teach her flying, but keep her out of trouble. And any plane you like is yours. Oh boy, I accept. Thanks. Gosh, what a reward Hop is in for. Oh gosh, what a reward. Hop is in for it now. Jerry, that irresponsible young brat, sure makes things exciting for Hop Harrigan in next month's All American Comics. Now, mind you, as I told you, Hop is 14. Jerry's about the same age. So, just a little foreshadowing here. What could if I told you that Geraldine would becoming a part of the supporting cast here? How might I want to ask you, Tim? How do you think her role might play out? What role would she be playing as part of the supporting cast?
Right.
You have any thoughts?
Thoughts? Do I have any thoughts about?
Okay, I'll say it again, just to be clear.
Right.
Geraldine has become part of the supporting cast here. What do you think her role as part of the supporting cast would be?
She's the dame.
All right, go a little further. Like, what do you think she could be to Hop?
Hop is the 14-year-old kid, right?
She's about the same age as him. So,
So she would
what
be
what
like,
might her relationship be
would
to
she,
him as the story progresses?
would she eventually be like a love interest?
Yeah.
But they're both the same age, right?
Yeah. As the story progresses,
Yeah.
they're kind of the same age, so it's like they do paint it as kind of where
But
she's
this
kind of
is like this is the 1930s, so anything
well,
beyond
I
just
mean, look back to the story. I mean, just look back to the story and how they interacted with each other once she revealed that she was a girl, right?
right. But in the 30s, I don't think they would go any further than like a cutesy little like
Well,
you
yeah. I
know
mean,
middle school kind of thing. You know.
well, okay. Well, now I know you may not. I don't know how much of other DC history you know, but Hop was also a part of the All Star. Have you heard of the All Star Squadron?
Oh, he's part of the All Star Squadron. That's like
Yeah.
supposed to be like
He has
that's
no
like,
he has no superpowers. He was just he was basically the All Star Squadron was put together of all the major heroes of the time, whether or not they had superpowers, and he of course was part of it. So he's 14, so meaning he was born in 1925. So he was 16 to 20. He entered the war and was part of the war.
that's considered canon in the DC universe, right? The All
Yeah.
Star Squadron.
Uh huh. Well, at least as far as I know, up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, they may have made alterations to his character and stuff like that. It would be the case, Bobby Thatcher. So where are we at on time? Because I do want to get to this because there, as I said, it
Okay.
hour 50. Yeah, and if we go a little over 2 hours, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna hit one more story, one more feature here, which is an interesting one. Like again, Hop is kind of a superhero slice of life type one, and the next one we're gonna read here, Squibbly. Part of the reason I'm focusing on Squibbly too is because Squibbly, it was in Squibbly's feature that they actually introduced the Golden Age Red Tornado, Ma Hunkel. So, and she's already been introduced as Ma Hunkel, but not as Red Tornado yet. But and you'll see here once we get to it. Of course, Mutt and Jeff, which was there we go. There's Squibbly. Now, as I said, there's a bit of a double feature going on here because even before the Squibbly feature itself, there's another one, and it kind of goes back to the cover. You saw how they were like trying to kill each other in their dreams. Remember when we looked back up earlier?
Yeah.
Why big brothers leave home by Squibbly. Come on in, Squib. It's only up to here. you see what he's trying to do there, Tim? I guess Tim had to go away from the computer for a moment. I was hoping Tim would have seen this and been kind of impressed, but he had to step away from the computer for a moment again.
I'm here.
Okay. Well, did you see that first little feature there? Why Big Brothers Leave Home by Squibbly? So
Yeah, I see that.
Sheldon Meyer did a double feature here. Squibbly under his own name, and then this little introductory piece, "Why Big Brothers Leave Home," under the title because Squibbly is a cartoonist. He's a comic, he's a comic book or comic strip artist, more than likely. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Go ahead.
So let's get on. Let's get on with this then. Actually, I'm gonna. This one, I think I do need a little more. There we go. Huey Hunkle's Uncle Gus thought it would be funny to call up the newspaper and to call up all the newspapers in town, asking about Squibbly Gibbet, the famous midget cartoonist. Oh yeah, basically this was Gus Hunkle's weird idea that he talked to Squibbly in the bathroom about. All right, so he created such a stir that when Squibbly went to the office of the Clarion looking for a job as a copy boy at $10 a week, the editor $10 a week. That was big money back then, huh? Hey Tim.
No, no, that's nothing. That's
It's not big money now. I'm saying back then.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not big money now. That'd be slave. That'd be considered slave wages nowadays. $10 a week. Um, Again, the aspect of inflation. Um, the editor offered him 100, thinking, of course, that he was a famous midget cartoonist. But poor Squibbly, who accepted one of the editor's cigars, became so dizzy that he walked out completely unaware of this amazing offer. Gee, I wish I knew what that guy was talking about. Say, Agnes, did you see where that midget went? I've gotta I've gotta find him before he goes to another paper. Midget? You mean that boy that just went went out? He applied for a job as a copy boy. No, no, not a boy. I mean Squibbly Gibbet, the famous midget cartoonist. Well, his name is Squibbly Gibbet. All right. And just before you called him in, he filled this application for a $10 a week job. $10 a week? Oh my gosh! And I almost signed him up for 100. uh, Golly, Mr. Phelps, where did you ever get the idea he was a midget cartoonist? Well, everybody has heard of. Wait a minute. That's right. Where did I get the idea he was a midget cartoonist? Well, I think you were talking about him to make Macklin of the Dispatch. Maybe he was trying to play another trick on you? That's right, Mike Macklin. Oh, that wise guy. I'll fix his wagon. Hello, Mike. Remember that midget cartoonist, Squibbly Gibbet? Sure I do. He's here in my office now, and don't try to tell me not to hire him. I'm wise to your tricks. Look at Squibbly right there. He's got a question mark in that word bubble right there.
Yeah.
And signed by Sheldon Meyer there. See the signature there?
Yep.
Sheldon Meyer's signature.
So it was a comic strip.
Yeah. Squibbly Gibbet by Sheldon Meyer. Look, he's got an ice cream in one hand and a bat in the other behind his. Look at the smile on Squibbly's face right there, and look at Dinky coming out, coming out from behind the S.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Why big brothers leave home by Squibbly. There's a water gun shot to the beehive. Yikes! Well, Mr. Giblet, I'm glad you came to me instead of that Guy Phelps. He wouldn't know what to do with a good cartoonist if he had one. He wouldn't? He certainly would not. Especially in your case, it will be a very important will be very important to play you up as the one and only midget cartoonist. Only thing is, he's not a midget cartoonist. He's a 12-year-old cartoonist.
Right.
He's Squibbly is approximately about 12 years old here.
Oh, so I get the joke.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Mr. Phelps did say something like that. I told him I'd come back tomorrow. You what? You what? Listen. Keep away from that Guy Phelps. Here, have a cigar, Mr. Gibbet, and we'll talk business. Gosh, no. Take those things away from me, quick. He does remember getting sick the last cigar he had. Oh, excuse me. I always thought most midgets were heavy smokers. Maybe they are. How should I know? I'm no midget. What? Aren't you Squibbly Gibbet, the famous midget cartoonist? Well, I am Squibbly Gibbet, and I draw cartoons, but I'm no midget, and I don't smoke cigars. But you're so short. What do you expect? What do you want for 13? 13 and a half. Okay, so he's 13 and a half. I thought he was 12. I thought he was a little younger, but
Right.
Well, what do you want for 13 and a half? 6'7"? I'm a schoolboy, and I want a job for the summer. What have you got to offer without cigars? Well, that's a horse of another color. What can you do? Well, look, here's my stuff. I can draw anything and make it look funny. Say, this isn't half bad for a kid. Not bad at all. How old did you say you were? 13 and a half. Swell. I'll pay you 13 and a half bucks a week. You'll be the one and only boy cartoonist. How's that? Mister, you've made a deal. So he was going for so get this, he's going for a $10 copy boy job. Okay? And ends up with a $13.50 a week cartoonist job.
Yeah.
Why Big Brothers Leave Home by Squibbly. Look at that. Tisk tisk. Hey Ma! I got it! I got a job! No, really? Yep. On the morning dispatch. $13.50 a week. Well, that's a lot of money for an office boy. Now, basically, he went in for the type of job that Jimmy Olsen had originally.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean, office boy? I'm the staff cartoonist. I got my own desk and everything. Oh, go on. You said the same thing when you had the other job. And then I found out it was your boss's desk. Well, it was Squibbly's desk when the boss was out. Uh, but this time it's no kidding. Ma, I don't have to run no errands or nothing. All I do is draw cartoons all day long. Yeah, yes. Except when the boss needs some cigars. All right. Don't believe it. What a mother I got. Here I am, almost famous already, and she don't believe it. All right. Look at Dinky there. He's like questioning it.
Yep.
What an imagination that boy has. I'll bet he believes in himself. Next morning. Well, let's see what's new in the paper today. What? Look at this. What's all the yelling about? I thought the house was on fire. Look, my son's a cartoon. Oh, wait. Look, my son's a cartoonist. He's in the paper. Hey, look. Yow! Squibbly by Sheldon Meyer. Why big brothers leave home. You got Squibbly and Dinky and I guess a lady.
How many pages did they do in one issue?
Well, they did 4 panels here for this particular.
Oh.
Back then, comics in total were like 64 pages. Hey, look, Squibbly's cartoons are in the paper. Now that right there, that lady in the green dress with the black dots on it, that's Ma Hunkel right there. She would eventually become the Golden Age Red Tornado. Well, my lands! It looks just like the real cartoons, don't it? Sure, didn't I tell you the kid had it in him? A genius. That's what he is. A dyed in the wool genius. Say, look at this, Mac. It says this here cartoonist is only a kid, 13 and a half years old. Yeah, I was telling the wife this morning the kids these days is smart as whips. I says, look at that language. That's some pretty good language, huh?
What about the language?
No, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm saying
Oh,
it sounds it sounds fun.
oh, you mean the folksy
Right,
words and the.
right. See that? There's his name just as plain Squibbly Gibbet, the boy cartoonist. That's my big brother. He's right. All right. He's right. Fellers, that's what it says. Gosh, could me could could get me his autograph, Dinky? Squibbly Gibbet, the famous boy cartoonist, um, always buys his ice cream cones in this store. Come in and try my script. Look at that. Benny's candy soda cigars. Look at that. People.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at how people are.
That's amusing.
Hey, Squib! I just saw your cartoons in the paper. Gosh, the whole town's talking about you. How's it feel to be famous? I feel rotten. Rotten? What? Rotten? What's the matter? Well, all my life you couldn't stop me from drawing pictures. Every time I got near a pencil, bingo, there was a funny picture. The teacher always made me stay in after school for scribbling funny pictures during class, hence the name Squibbly. Yeah, but now you're getting paid for it, and you can draw all you want. That's just it. The boss gives me a swell desk and all the pens and paper I need. And what happens? I can't get an idea for a cartoon if you killed me. Now that he's suffering the stress of a work life, what do you think is happening there? What do you think is happening there, Tim?
He's stressed.
Huh? What, Tim?
I said he's stressed.
Yeah, he's stressed, which is causing what?
Create a creative block.
Creative block or writer's block. And take it from me, folks, that's no joke. P.S. Don't miss the next issue. I like scribbling, even though we're not to the Red Tornado one yet. 2 hours and 16 minutes. So with that, I think it's a good time to start winding down now.
Yep, I think so.
It went over 2 hours, but like I said, that's okay. For these, I don't mind doing that. But with that being said, we're going to start to wrap up here. We're going to go ahead and look back. Today being Friday, December 2nd, 2022. We're going to look back at this day in each history. And if you can stay afterwards for a couple minutes, just, for post show, that'd be appreciated. I'm just looking through this stuff real quick. All right. So, without any further ado, let's take a look back at this day in each history. History!
Yay!
So, first off, we're going to head back 75 years ago. And on this date back in 1947, which was 75 years ago today, the 85th issue of Big Shot from Columbia Comics went on sale on this date back in 1947. On this date back in 1947, 85th issue of Big Shot from Columbia Comics went on sale. So with that,
what was special about that issue?
Well, it was the 85th issue.
Oh.
In other words, I mark milestone issued like 5, 10, 15, that kind of thing. Granted, it may not be as big as, let's say, the 50th issue or 100th issue or anything like that, but, 85th issue, I just, I still, call those on those. Not that that's how I cover, not that I cover, like, I usually only cover every 5th comic up to issue 30. So when I do the coverage here.
No, I was just trying to figure out if like
they took a more slice of life reprint stuff. With obviously with the hero stuff, we're doing like more like almost every issue. Um, so with that, moving on to the next piece of, and in this case, I'm going to wish a happy birthday to a voice actor. I would like to wish a happy 70th birthday to voice actor Keith Zarabachka. Keith Zarabachka, who of course is known, who provides the voice of Kip O'Donnell in The Wild Thornberries, um, Living Laser and Ultimate Spider-Man, Ronan the Accuser and the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the episode Welcome to the Kree Empire. He also provided the first voice of Trigun in the Teen Titans cartoon in 2003. So happy 70th birthday to Keith Zara Bachka.
Huh.
And finally, our last piece of niche history here, going back 20 years ago today, as on this date, 20 years ago today, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, and which saw on the show main event of the show saw Triple H defeat Rob Van Dam in a world heavyweight number one contendership match with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. Also, Chris Jericho and Christian retained the World Tag Team Championships over Booker T and Goldust after Booker T and Chris Jericho went to a no contest. Let's see. The show started off with the Dudley Boys defeating 3 Minute Warning. Now, the Dudley Boys, of course, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley.
I remember the Dudley Boys.
Yeah. Would defeat 3 Minute Warning, Jamal and Rosie, two of the Noe family, the Samoans. So that's pretty much what we have for you right there. I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed the content tonight as we are winding down. And don't forget, so I'll be back here on Monday for more niche news coverage. Also, next Friday, I'll be having Rick Piper join me as we will be continuing our look to July of 1939, as we will be looking at comics that went on sale from Dell Comics, most notably the 15th issues of Super Comics and Crackerjack Funnies. Hope to see everybody back, and I hope you'll come by and catch the show as well, Tim, next week.
Okay, of course.
Get caught, catch some of this interesting stuff from comics history's past.
Yeah, for reals.
All right. So, anyways, guys, I thank everybody for being here. I look forward to seeing everybody back here on Monday. So, until then, bye.
Keep it real, y'all.